Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another grounded video. So in this video, we're just going to cover the new insects that are going to be found in the upper yard, over by the castle, and in the undershed, and basically everywhere that you haven't been that we haven't seen in the game yet. So without further ado, let's go ahead and zip on over and we'll get into it. Alright, so not only are you going to see the 9 new insects on this whole upper yard area, but what you can see is we're also going to have roly-polies, you're going to have ladybird larva, you're going to have ladybirds themselves. And you're going to have a lot of the other insects, black ox beetles and everything over in this area. First up right here, we have the fire soldier, or fire worker ant rather. And these guys are pretty much just like your regular ant. They do attack a little bit more frequently, and we'll see if they can do their special attack here. So they also have an acid attack similar to the termites, the termite workers. See if we can get him to do it here. He doesn't seem to want to do it. Let me run away a little bit and see if he can unspout this off. So they're really no different than the regular worker ants. They're a little bit weaker, I would say, than the black ants, but they are quicker and they have this little acid attack, which this guy does not seem to want to show us. There he goes. So you see that? That's going to basically do burning damage to you, or spicy damage, kind of like the sizzle. So be careful of that. And what they're going to drop is fire ant parts and fire worker or fire ant heads. We'll go ahead and look right here. They'll drop fire ant parts and fire ant heads. They are weak to fresh, so a lot of the insects that we're going to get into are weak to fresh, resistant to spicy, and just like all the other ants, their weakness point is their eyes. Now let's see if we can't find a fire soldier ant. Alright, so right over here outside of the jungle fire ant hill.
I spy.
And I'm trying to see if we can get a soldier ant that we can find to show you guys. So obviously this place is the ant hill up in the upper yard. It's going to have a lot of your fire worker ants and some of the fire soldier ants similar. You can see here we have a ladybird larva. Ladybird larvae are literally everywhere now, so be very careful when you come into this upper yard. Because like I said, not only are you going to see these 9 new insects, you're going to see the ladybird larva, ladybirds, black ox beetles, roly-polies, your typical aphids and weevils, and a few gnats and stuff like that. But yeah, so everywhere you look, there's going to be some kind of threat trying to kill you. So be very careful when you get to this area. We're going to go down to the fire ant hill here and see if we can't find a soldier ant peeking out for us. Sounds like we got one right here, so let me go ahead and see if I can kite him over here. So you can see the same reskin as the red soldier ants and the black soldier ants. They are a little bit tougher, but again, one of the things you can do is just make sure that you have fresh damage to these guys, because they will do spicy damage. And you're rarely going to find a soldier ant by himself. They do have that pushback attack as well. Go ahead and handle these ants real quick. Just go ahead and beat them up with our fresh mint mace here. So these guys are going to drop fire ant parts and fire ant mandibles. Really not too difficult, but just like in a lot of cases with a lot of the insects, especially the ants, because they are pack insects, if you're fighting more than one of them, you can tend to get overwhelmed. So be cognizant of that, and just be aware that if you fight one and you find yourself starting to get overwhelmed, then it's better to avoid the fight and just run away to live to fight another day. So let's go ahead and jump into our next one here. Number 7 on our list of 9 of the new insects here. Alright, so number 7 on our list is going to be a new introduction to an insect that we all love, the mosquito, only this time it's called the tiger mosquito. They're a little bit faster, they do a little bit more damage, and you can see here, they literally have the same exact attack pattern. The only thing is that they drop different, they will drop different resources to make a new weapon. Same thing though, they're not going to be too difficult, just fight them like you would any other mosquito. As you can see, they're still really annoying. So we're gonna let this guy come in a little bit and get him. Alright, now we can get him. Alright, so there we go. Again, really annoying. And I'm going to go ahead and take care of this one, and we'll go ahead and jump to the number 6 new insect on our list here. Alright, so number 6 on our list, we do have some new underwater threats. Well, I say new because they are technically new insects. But it's another reskin of another insect, and these are spiny water fleas. Now, these guys can be really annoying to kill. They're literally just the same water fleas, but they're a heck of a lot more aggressive. It's like water fleas with caffeine. So you can see them here coming after me. We're gonna go ahead and show you guys how quick they attack here. So again, not dangerous when you fight them one-on-one, but you will see a lot of them all at once. It seems like in some areas you'll find one, and then there are like 6 more will come and fight you. So let me go ahead and get away from here. Let me get into a somewhat of a safe spot around this area so we can go ahead and show you guys the rest of the insects. I'm not going to fight all of them. You fought one water flea, you can fight some spiny water fleas. Pretty much the same thing, like I said, just a little bit more aggressive. So let me get away from here real quick. As you can hear, our number 5 insect making a lot of noise over here. I'll be right back. Alright, so before we jump to number 5, let me go ahead and cover number 7, which is our tiger mosquito. Let me show you guys here. Weak to chopping, fresh and slashing, resistant to busting. So really no major difference here. Pretty much the exact same as the regular mosquito, as you can see. The only thing is that they drop tiger mosquito beaks, which will craft a new weapon for you. And then we go to the spiny water fleas here. Same thing, stabbing, but these individual creatures are now weak to sour, as opposed to the regular water fleas, which are here, that are weak to stabbing and salty. So stabbing and sour and chopping and fresh, as opposed to fresh and slashing and the resistances. Let's go ahead and jump to number 5 because they're making a bunch of noise down here. And as you can guess, it's another reskin of the lawn mites, the dust mites, and it is the tick. Now these guys can be really tricky because they seem to attract other insects, not only other ticks. We'll show you. It's another thing to where if you're fighting one-on-one, they're fine. You can kill them pretty easily. But just like a lot of the other insects, you can hear a wolf spider over here. If you get ganged up on by these guys, then it can be detrimental to your survival. So let's go ahead and see if we can find a couple over here. So similar attacks to lawn mites and dust mites. They're not too difficult. But again, if you're fighting them one-on-one, it's a heck of a lot easier than trying to fight a whole group of them. So ticks are the new thing, and as you can see, the weapon I have here is the new tick sword called the Mosquito, I believe. And it's a really good weapon, so I advise you to go ahead and come over here and get some ticks. Just be very careful when you're over here by the stump getting these guys. As you can see, we're over here in the northeastern part of the map, as the upper yard is a really big area, but over here by the tree stump area is where you're going to find the most ticks. We'll go ahead and look at them on the data page here, right here. So weak to spicy. One of the things that's not weak to fresh over here, obviously resistant to busting, fresh, and salty. Weak to spicy. But we have our mighty Mosquito here, and it does really good damage to him. So let's go ahead and jump to the number 4 insect on our list here. So here you go. This is the spotted moth. I'm not going to attack this thing because these things are tanks. They are literally flying tanks, and if you are unprepared, there are a few other locations for where they're at, but you have one sitting right here on top of the stump. You can already see the health level on it right here. It's pretty enormous. So these things are, we'll go ahead and show you guys though, weak to fresh, spicy, and sour. So they have a lot of weaknesses. The resistance to busting and slashing and salty. So if you have a fresh or spicy sour spear, really good against them. But these things will knock you down. They also do a dust or a cloud attack that can lower your attack speed and lower your defense as well. And if you're caught in that dust cloud, it's basically lights out for you. So I'm not going to fight this one. You guys can go find one and fight it on your own. They are difficult to beat. So let's go ahead and jump to number 3. Alright, so number 3 is already introduced itself here. As you can see, it's the black widowlings. Now these things, I would say, are just as dangerous as the black widows themselves. Because you get ganged up on by about 5 to 8 of these when you go into the area where the black widows are. And these things can destroy you because they can poison you just like the Orb Weaver Juniors. They're like spiderlings, but faster, and they hit a lot harder. So be very wary of them. And just like any other spider, the black widowlings themselves. Get another one here. There's that poison. So took that one out. Let me get on here and show you the data card for the black widowlings. Black widowlings are weak to spicing, resistant to stabbing and fresh. They do drop web fiber just like anything else. They don't drop anything very special, but they can be very damaging. So now I want to show you guys the number 2 insect on our list that is new to the upper yard and new to the game here. So let's go check it out. I'm pretty sure you guys probably have an idea of what it is after we just killed some black widowlings. And we're not even taking a break from this one. It is...
Nothing to worry about. Plenty to worry about.
It is the black widow itself. Which their dens are guarded by their black widowlings here, so... Let's see if we can get a good look at it. Oh, she's coming over here, so... Yep, there you go. So there's our black widow. Now these things are beefy and they hit fast. Now they're similar. I would say that they're in between a wolf spider and an infected wolf spider, just in their speed of attack. They literally have the exact same attack pattern as a wolf spider. It's just quicker. So they can poison you. Their poison damage does a big beefy hit on you. But if you can block their attacks, you should be in pretty good shape. So that's the black widow, which can be found in I think 3 or 4 different places in the game itself, in the upper yard for now. And as you can see, her babies go out here and cause a lot of issues. So she's not going to be able to fit through here, but you can get a good look at her right there. Kind of a cross physically between an orb weaver and a wolf spider, but they do a lot of damage. They're, like I said, like a hybrid in between a wolf spider, orb weaver, and infected wolf spider. But yeah, black widows are a new addition to the upper yard. So, all right, let's get to our final one. I think you guys know what it is, but I'm gonna go show you guys where it is. I'm not gonna show you the insect itself, but let's at least get you guys over there. So we'll be right back for our final insect. All right, so our final insect is obviously the Orchid Mantis, or the Mantis, and I'll show you guys where we are. We're up here in the upper yard on top of the shed deck here, and you got this hose that's gonna go up into this pot right here. And then it's going to lead to a bigger pot. You can see right here, we're going to go in here, that we have a hose that's kind of cut up a little bit. Go ahead and head in here. Obviously, the mantis is not here. You do have to do something special to, similar to the broodmother, where you have to summon the mantis. So I'm not going to go into the recipe here for that. That's all up on you guys. I don't want to do too many spoilers, but let's go ahead and break down all 9 insects that we went through, just to give you guys an idea of what you're going to get into. So number 9, we have the fire ant worker, weak to fresh, resistant to spicy, weak points eyes, drop fire ant parts, fire ant head, useful in creating a new armor and a new club, I believe. If we check this out, the fire ant club right here. And now we check out the fire ant soldier, same thing, weaknesses, resistance, weak points right there. You guys check that, go ahead and peep it out. They're going to drop the mandibles, the ant parts, and the heads. And then we have for number 7, tiger mosquito. They're going to drop the tiger mosquito beak, which can drop a new weapon. And then number 6, and the spiny water fleas. So these are basically just like meaty water fleas, similar to the meaty gnats, because all they do is drop a lot more water flea meat. But all right, let's go ahead and jump to number 5. Number 5 is our ticks. They drop the tick fang, which is a really good ingredient for the maquahitl, the weapon, the tiger sword, or the tick sword rather, which is really good to use. So number 4 is going to be our moth, which is weak to fresh, spicy, sour. They drop the moth fuzz and moth scales. There's only a few of these in the upper yard that I've found so far, so go ahead and look for them, and they can craft certain armors, I believe. And then number 3, we have our black widowlings, weak to spicy, resistant to stabbing fresh. They'll just drop your rub fiber. And the black widow itself, which you can see here, no weaknesses, resistant to pretty much everything, but they do drop super spider venom, black widow fangs, and spider chunks on death. And then number 1 is going to be our mantis, which is going to be down here somewhere because I have not fought it yet. Looking forward to that into a stream. So the mantis is going to be the new boss, obviously. I've not fought it yet, but that's all 9 new insects that we have in the game right now. Go out and explore. I'll just warn you right now, when you go into the upper yard, you're going to get bombarded by every insect that's probably in the game right now, aside from the more passive ones. So that's what we got for this video, guys. That's all 9 new insects in the upper yard. Hey, thanks again for watching, everybody. If you like that video, go ahead and check out one of these videos right here. Thanks. Bye.